All right. Happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Day. And it's smack dab in the middle of the month. Um, we were trying to decide what to talk about tonight. And we were talking about so many people that we've been hearing lately have been struggling with how do I be on social media right now and not get discouraged, not get frustrated with people. I mean, there's just so much negativity right now in the next couple of days with the inauguration and everything. People are like on high alert and just being mean. And so we wanted to kind of give you some ways to, we are saying like, what did you call it, Amy? Um, she had a really good, what we were going to call
Oh,
it.
safeguarding our sanity.
Yes, safeguarding our sanity. And we just want to be able to be a light during this like extra crazy dark time. And how can we do that? Because we were talking and both of us were like, I don't really feel the negativity I don't get that when I'm on social media. And what are the things that we're doing to make sure that happens? And so I'm going to share a few things that I do. Amy's going to share a few things, and then if you have stuff that we haven't shared that kind of helps you, please we'll do that and have you do those as well. But I think one of the most important things for me is how I start my morning off, because of the fact that like we can tend to just grab our phone and start scrolling immediately, and I really like to start my day off with reading my devotions, doing my affirmations. um, I've been starting a new group. It's about like reading your vision, looking over your goals, really starting your day focused on, excuse me, on positivity and things that we're trying to do that are good. And so, like, I used to only listen to my PD. And what I was finding is I would forget. I'd forget to start it, or I'd be halfway through my load of laundry and I'm like, dang it, I didn't even do that. And so now I've committed to 10 pages in the morning, reading 10 pages of personal development. And now that's in addition to I do my Jesus calling every day with my Bible verses and all of that. Like I'm reading 10 pages. Can you please? I'm trying to. I'm reading 10 pages in addition to that. And right now I'm reading Atomic Habits. And one of the things he was talking about is if you're trying to make a habit or break a habit, you have to be super intentional. And so if you have a bad habit of checking your phone every single morning as soon as you come and start scrolling, then you need to make sure that it is inaccessible. So put it across the room. Make sure it's not right there where you grab it and go. But like changing those habits is going to be taking time and it's going to take intentionality. But I promise, like when you are starting your morning focused on good and focused on getting those endorphins going, and I know a lot of people, if you work early, it's hard to get that workout in, but like it changes your whole day. And so even getting up an extra 30 minutes early can literally change your mood. And so when I'm starting like that and I haven't checked messages, I haven't done any of that, I'm not looking at have they liked my post from the night before. Like I'm literally starting my day in a way that has nothing to do with social media. But I'm also trying to, if something stands out, I'm going to screenshot or take a picture, write it down so that I can share that later. But I think how you start your day is like huge. Um, Also, I've been ending my day a little bit differently. And like the start is called like our harmony. And that's just like getting us in the rhythm. I think is the first part harmony or is the end harmony? It's heart. Heart is the beginning. Yes, heart. So you're starting, I'm like trying to type. So like trying to like focus on all of that. The other thing that I love, there's this button and it's called unfollow. I use it for people who are super negative, who just, I don't want to watch them anymore. You can also on Instagram, you can mute somebody. So that way, if you're like, well, I don't want them to know I unfollowed them, just mute them because then they're out of your stories. They're out of your feed. And I don't have to see that stuff. And I don't have to be like, I can't think that about that person. Because I know like a lot of times we log in and we're like, man, I wish I didn't know that about them. It makes me think differently of them now. Well, if you mute them or you unfollow them, you don't have to see that and you don't have to start your day off at that. And so I've been doing that a lot lately, and then having a plan. Like last week, we had a media fast at my church, and running a social media business while on a media fast is super interesting. It takes a lot of extra intentionality because this is my job. And so I can't take a week off. Like it's just not going to happen. And so how I did that was I muted all notifications, which I do every night too, but I had it 24 hours. I muted all messengers, like, so I got 0 notifications. And I would encourage you to do that as well when you're not working, because then you're not checking those dings. You're not constantly going and feeling like you're behind. Because when I'm ready to work, I sit down and I can look at my inbox. I don't have to hear the dings throughout the day. I don't have to worry about the notifications or the flags popping up. But that was like super helpful for me because then I wasn't trying to reach for my phone when it wasn't work time. I really apologize for her. She is just as loud as can be today. And then,
we understand.
And then what was the other thing I was talking about? Oh, and how I'm ending my day. I've been doing these trust affirmations at night. And I love them because it's just talking about like what I did today was enough. Like trusting that, like I showed up fully for my business in that time. Now, if you haven't showed up for your business at all, I mean, you can't say I trust I did enough because you didn't do anything. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like, if you do your tracker, if you do your power hour, you do your invites, it's like, because I reap what I sow, I trust that the work I did today was enough for the progress I want to see tomorrow. So it's like, I sent the invites, I started the conversations, I expanded my market, I did that. And so like ending your night on a night where you're like, okay, just breathing and realizing like it is okay. It also takes that negativity out. And then it was like, because I trust myself, I can check out and enjoy my time with my family and friends. I think that's hard for us. It's hard for us to unplug, and it's hard for us to let go of what we read. It's hard for us to not take what we're doing on social media into later on. And so to be like, okay, I trust that what I did is enough. I can walk away. I can go have family time. I can go have fun and not have to worry or stress about my business. And there's just several of them. I can post them later. But I just love that you just like ending your night being like, you know what? It is okay. And I've been doing these for the last 15 days and I just feel a shift in my mindset. Like I'm enough. What I did was enough. Like, and I think like when you are remembering that, like, we're here for positivity. We're here to like help give light to people. And it can't be, oh great, you gotta log in again. Like people are gonna see that. People are gonna feel that in your messages. People are gonna be able to say like, there's a difference in your tone of your message when you're inviting somebody out of like, this has changed my life versus I have to check a box off. And so I'm gonna have you take it over for a bit, Amy.
A lot of what I wanted to share was kind of the same as Melissa, but I think one of the biggest things is the idea of the first fruits, and I think about that in the morning, like what is the first thing that I'm giving my time and my energy and my effort to? And so like personally, it's for me, it's journaling, it's devotional time, it's prayer time, and feeding myself first so that I can go out into the world already filled up. And my workout time, getting my energy so that I can go to my kids already filled up. So same thing with getting our minds in the right place. I want to fill my mind first before social media, before any of those things. And that is a safeguard for me. That is because it does, what is happening in the world, what you see on social media, it can be concerning, it can be kind of alarming. And so if we're not grounded in what matters to us, then it can be like pulling us one way or another. And so really grounding ourselves in what it is, what we're here for, why are you on social media, like what is our purpose in being there, and showing up in that space with the energy, with the light, with those things, because that's that's kind of a privilege that we have to invite people into our corner of the internet, our corner of social media, is saying, when you land on my space, you are safe. I want you to be inspired. I want you to have fun with me. Like, what do you get from and I honestly think that that is going to make a difference. It's made a difference this past year, and moving on, I think it makes a difference if people want to watch your stuff and be a part of it. And I think whatever you put out there, like, you attract back. And so you will get more like-minded accounts that are following you and that you're kind of interacting with, which I think is good. But I was listening to a girl that was like, we just bless and block. We bless and block if it's really bugging us and put it. I was like, I'll be honest, I've had to bless and block some of my family, like some of my cousins and stuff, and that's okay. I love them and when we are together, but some of the things that they post, I'm like, I just don't want to be scrolling and run across it. Something that I also do and this is for intentionality and mindfulness, but I can fall into, like, I like the connections part. I like the scrolling part and seeing what people are up to. Um, but it's also sometimes not as productive for me. And so I want to recognize that. And I also want to recognize that it's not, that is where I start falling into the hole of, oh, that's negative. Oh my gosh, that's happening. This is happening. Why does this person feel this way? Why is this person, oh, this is so frustrating. So I will set a timer and say, okay, in the next 20 minutes, I am going to, follow these accounts, or I'm going to comment or go through my stories. And when the timer's up, the timer's up. And it's not, and I'm going to, the same what Melissa was saying, I'm going to trust that what I did was enough, and that it is another way that I'm just kind of safeguarding my sanity, but it's also safeguarding my time and my business. So that's really important to me. And then just learning to listen to yourself and not, and as you're scrolling, like, how are you feeling? And then what can you do to counteract those feelings? Like, what can you do if something does bug you? Think about it. Like, take a couple minutes to think, why did that bother me? What is inside of me that wanted to, like, fight back or push against? And that's okay. You can talk with, a significant, I never recommend social media going against whatever somebody said, but with a spouse, talk it out, talk it through, or with a friend. So, but listening to, well, what did it bother you about that? And not just saying, it bothered me, I'm going to get off, or I'm going to quit this. It bothered me. Let's figure out why and what can I do to counteract those feelings. So those are a few of the things that I wrote down. Does anybody have anything else that they do to kind of safeguard themselves?
Super cold where some of you are, but another thing that has really helped is like going for a walk right before I work, or I'm like, Tabitha's like online all day long because of teaching. She teaches online. So like, take half an hour, leave, and then come back for an hour. Like that way you can feel like you need to be able to stop what you're doing, like stop one hat and put the other one on. But there needs, and that's the other thing with habits, is their atomic habits is like making a cue that's obvious that tells yourself, I'm about to go work. I'm about to need to have some energy. And so go do the thing that it is. Maybe it's like listening to a podcast or a song or, like music, but doing something that puts you like in that headspace to interact with people. Because all of us have multiple hats going on, whether it's homeschooling, online, veterinarian, like we're all over the place, sign language, everything. So it's like, we need to make sure that we can take off that hat and put on the other hat, because like my mom hat is different than my coach hat. Yes, there are some overlaps, but I need to make sure that I'm ready and to go. And so I really want to encourage you, like getting out in nature is wonderful, even if it's like a I don't know if there's snow on the ground. I'm sorry. I'm in a tank top today. So, but just encouraging you to do that, or listening to Micah Folsom's podcasts are always super encouraging to me. And they're, 15 or 20 minutes. But is there anything else that helps you not get in that you would like to share? Sorry, Tracy. It was 70 degrees here. Anybody?
I'll say something. I know, like for me, and I know like Jill and Leanne are in the group that, and Leslie, and Amy in our Project Elevate group we're in right now talked about this, but she always says like she has the highest energy right after she works out. And I know I'm the same way. Like I have that endorphin rush. I have that like I just kicked this workout's butt. You have that high. And she said like that when she just gets done working out, that is when she tries to really like go on her stories. If she wants to communicate something, that's when she tries to get on her stories and communicate it, because it just shows in her energy, because that's when she's the most energized. So I thought that was a really good tip to share. And I was like thinking about it. I'm like, I'm the same way. Like after I work out, I am just so pumped, full of endorphins. Like and it doesn't even have to be, like she said, it doesn't even have to be related to fitness. But for her, that's the best time for her to get on and share something in her stories, because that is when she is like the highest level of energy within her day. So just thought I would share that.
And those of you who have to like work out and go straight to your next thing, you could record your video on your phone and just have it so that when you have a chance to post it, because I know a lot of times we're like, okay, put words on it so people can read it if they need to. If you don't have the time to edit it, like at least take a minute, like Ashley said, because we have our energize in, our endorphins are going, we're like ready to go. And that's when I would, before she joined us, I would drink my energize and do my invites, because I was like, I got this. I got this. I can talk to people. I'm so excited. I love our programs, all of the things. You're just so happy. And so it's such a great idea when you have that. I know. Hi.
And it kind of feels like, is there any other times to kind of mimic that same energy? I know that what Melissa was saying about taking a walk in between teaching my kids and working, I've been taking a 15-minute walk in our hills, and I feel the same way afterwards. I don't know, something about like moving and then getting all the thoughts come to me. Then I'm like trying to like write it down as I'm walking, but having that kind of energy going into work time and inviting people, I think is huge. And it really has changed how I've done invites the last couple weeks.
But I also think like remembering during this time, like the way people react to you has nothing to do with you. Like reminding yourself over and over again that if someone's not joining, it's not because of you. Right now, it's out of fear for all the things that are going on. And so like trying to speak to those fears in your stories, trying to speak to those things like, why, like for the reason that you were afraid to join, talk about the things that you struggled with, or maybe you currently are struggling with something, but this is how you're trying to overcome it. Because people are feeling like, I know that hurt people. It's just so true. And right now everybody is just slinging things out, and you're either you hate people because you won't wear a mask, or you are buying into the garbage if you wear a mask. Like you can't do anything right. And our pastor was saying the other day, he says, no matter what decision I make right now, I'm going to make half of you angry. And it's so true. Like we can't make everybody happy right now. And so just trying to like find your joy and find your peace, and then sharing that. And like I said, keep scrolling, hit the unfollow, hit the mute. But like share those things. Like that's why personal development is so huge right now, especially because you can share. There's been so many times where someone's like, oh my goodness, I needed to hear that today. Thank you. Like if it spoke to you, it speaks to other people. And so like remembering that. Stephanie says I need help starting conversations and don't really know where to start. Amy will message you and get on that. But I think like when you're like trying to like start conversations, like be you, be real, and knowing like, all right. I mean, if someone's watching your stories and they're watching more than one slide, I find that is like they're interested in what you're doing. They want to know. And so I make a joke sometimes. They're like, hey, I saw you watch my stories. Are you interested in checking out what I'm talking about? Because I mean, you can see that they watch your stories. Or if I'm sending an invite and I do know they watched my stories, I'll say, I don't know if you saw, but yesterday I was talking about blank. Can I send you more information about it? Because we can open that thing, and I'm not assuming that they were paying attention, but also in a nonchalant or a abrasive way.
I even do that. I even do that if I like feel like I've invited the people who've watched my stories. I've invited the people who have commented on my posts or whatever. Sometimes I'll even go through my Facebook friends or my Instagram followers and I'll say, hey, I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if this would interest you, but I would like to invite you to this. And I just give a little blurb about it. As for connections, I have found the best way for me to connect with people is to ask questions about something that they posted or something that they put in their stories, or to give a compliment. Compliment something that they did or they said, or they even like as I'm scrolling stories, like how cute their baby is or how like cute their outfit is, whatever it is that actually kind of catches my attention. That's how most of my connections start, are either asking a question about something I'm genuinely interested in that they have maybe posted about, or giving a compliment. And happy birthday messages has always been a very easy way to start an initial connect with them. Is every morning it says on Facebook whose birthday it is, and I just send a happy birthday, hope you have a great day, do you have any fun plans? And with a question at the end, people tend to, that's why I try to ask a question of people, is because people try to usually respond if you ask a question.
Yeah, and I'm getting so many people when you ask that question at the end, even like, do you have any fun plans this weekend? Or, the plans to celebrate your birthday? Like even just talking about, well, like mom life. I'm just hoping that I don't have to make dinner. And I'll be like, I hope somebody does the dishes for you. And like, you just like get into like little fun conversations, or, pandemic birthday, we're just going to order out. And I was like, oh, I hope you get to pick your favorite thing. But like, it really does like get genuine conversations, because in another month, every single person has been on a pandemic birthday. Like, because March 15th was when beginning of March was when everybody started going in. And so February, it's your last non-pandemic birthday. So, I mean, it's just fun to like connect and ask questions and stuff. You are so loud today.
So something I did this week that I've never done, and I got a really good responses back, is I went through my stories on, when did I do this? Friday. And I sent every single person that watched my stories. So like there was a lot. And I said, thanks for following my stories. I love sharing with others how I am managing health and wellness in my chaotic life, as well as what I am doing to achieve it. I said, is there anything specific you would like to see me show more of? Question mark. And then I said, I love seeing what others are looking for in terms of inspiration. And I got a lot of people messaging me back that was like, I actually had one girl was like, actually, I would love to know what program you're doing, instantly. And then I had a lot that was like, I love seeing your nutrition posts. I love seeing the type of workouts you're doing. I had some other people that are like, you just really inspire me to get up and moving every day. And I had never done that, but I got a lot of responses. So that was just a really good way to just start conversations with people.
That is a fabulous way, because not only are you like asking what they want, which gives you content for later, but then and starting all those conversations. But what was I thinking? Sorry, my mom called right at that moment. I'm a real space cadet sometimes. But you're asking them, which means they're going to be watching to see if you like kind of take their, and now they're going to want to watch more and every day, which I think is huge. So that's a really good, would you mind like maybe typing that up and posting it in the team page? Cool.
And I feel too like people like to feel like they're valued for watching
Mm,
your stories, and people like to give opinions. They do.
exactly.
People just like to give opinions. So when
Exactly.
you're asking them like what they kind of want from you, I feel like it gives them that sense of like, oh, she actually really does care about like us watching her stories and us following her. Like
Yeah,
you want to give people what they want.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
you're-
I will send it. I will put it on there.
that was really good.
Sorry, she was crying, so I was like, I need to be able to finish. Bryson? All right. There is nothing else but smile for a picture. Wait, let me stop recording